Yo guys, what's up? It's Rocka, and I'm going to explain how I made Blackbird in this live video. So I'm just waiting for everybody to tune in, and I'm just gonna play the record now on the background. So just tell me if you can hear me okay, or if I need to talk louder or need to turn up the volume or anything. Yeah, so if everybody can already comment what they like, questions or what they want to hear me explain, that would be great, so I can keep that in mind when I'm explaining the whole track. Okay, I've got some questions already that I can answer. To the person that asked if I use Valhalla reverb, no, I use Arts Acoustic reverbs and the Fruity Stock reverb. What's the tempo of the song? This is 128 BPM, and yeah, everything else, all the other questions, I'll explain like in a minute when everybody is tuned in. Somebody asked what VST, what plugin I used. For this drop, I used Silent One exclusively, but with a lot of post-processing. Alright, that's the whole track. So I hope everybody that wants to tune in is already tuned in. So let me just put down my phone, try to get this aligned properly. Alright, so I'm reading along with the chat, so I hope you guys can see everything. Let me just open the project. Okay, doesn't show pretty well. Okay. I hope you guys can see most of the screen. So I'm gonna just start with the intro. That's the I'll do the whole explanation, like how the track evolves on its own. So I'll start out with the intro, then I'll do the build up, the first drop, and the break. So I hope you guys can hear everything okay. So this is how the track starts out. Basically, a pretty straightforward intro. Low cutted kick, just a regular kick from a sample pack. Some loops, let me just zoom in. Just some loops to give some groove, just for the intro, for mixing sake of the intro. Then we have, this is actually the loop that pretty much makes the sound of the intro, that's like the riser. And let me just move this one a little bit more to the right, so I hope you guys can see it better now. So yeah, like this is the loop that gives the intro like the riser feel to it, and that's done by a flanger, fruity flanger, just the basic flanger that's in FL Studio, like the stock plugin. Usually a flanger has like an LFO that automates the depth and the delay, but I've turned that one off and just automate the depth manually, so it'll give this this rising sound that you're in the intro. It's small, like it's a trick that Alesso and like the Swedish House Mafia use, I guess, and yeah, it works really well in my intro. So I've done it in every intro since Colossus. So that's it for the intro. I've got some like standard downlifters, some uplifters, just to like help with the when you're mixing this track in. And then we got the bass line, the kick in the bass line. I've seen that some people already asked some questions about how I did this, the low part of this track. So it's pretty straightforward. Like the whole track is pretty basic. The low part of this track consists out of a kick, like a regular kick, and a sine wave. That's for the like the subwoofer, just a clean sine wave. I don't know if you can hear it. I don't think my microphone picks it up, but it's just a regular sine wave. And then like those two combined will sound like this. Let me just put in a spectrometer. So yeah, this is a spectrometer, so you can see what's going on. This is like a regular kick and bass line, but the only problem with this is when you're listening to this track on small speakers with no big subwoofer, you don't hear this low part, and the whole track will sound incredibly empty, because if you look at the frequency response, it'll only have this frequency for the subwoofer, and like most small speakers start at like 100 hertz for frequency response in the low area. So that's why that's also why a lot of sub kicks are distorted, so you create the upper frequencies. So that's also what I did, but I didn't distort it. I just generated the mid frequencies, the mid-low frequencies, with just a 3x oscillator. If you layer those two, you can immediately see what it does to the waveform. You can see it fills the whole kick, and if you look at the frequency response, you see these two frequencies in the response, and that gives it really that it fills the low end with some more frequencies, and it doesn't clash because it's in the same key. The way that works is it's just a regular sine wave that gets amplitude modulated with another sine wave that's one octave below. So it's basically just this. You can see one moment. Let me just load up a Edison real quick. Then you can see. Alright, if I record it, you can see like what kind of wave it is. It's just like a regular amplitude modulated wave, and those two layered will fill up like most of the frequencies that you need for your track basically. And I've got like it follows the pattern of the bass line of the drop. So that's pretty much the low end. Um, so I'll just go one step further with the explanation and go to the build-up. I'll just, like, one note before I play it from the project. My computer doesn't really handle it pretty well because I used a lot of processing on this one, so it'll stutter sometimes, so just forgive me for that. That's the build-up, and build-up consists out of just the drop melody, like the drop synth actually, with the regular melody. It'll sound like. One moment. Yes. So this is the main synth. It gets filtered out. Just the filter opens just before the drop, not fully, but just almost full. So that's pretty much it for the synth. But I'll come back to the synth at the drop. So. I'll do that when the synth is fully open. Downlifter, uplifter, like a regular one, just for basic downlifter, uplifter stuff. Some loops, like the loops from the intro, just repeat into the build-up. Basic snares, just to fill up the spectrum, and then we got the riser, like kind of a riser synth. Let me just unmute this one. And after that we got the effects kick. This is pretty much I can't really hear it that well. Let me just I've made these like this. I made this in another project. Let me just open up that project real quick. One moment. Effects kick. Drag this over. Yes. So alright, this is the like the uplifter that you hear. Oh, wait, one project. Come on. Okay, this is the one. So this is the effects of the distorted kick drum. So this is actually what it'll sound like if you play it. And it's actually kind of like the same idea that I had in that I applied in Kingwood with like distorted kick in the build-up. So the basics is like it all boils down to a 909, which is created by the EKS9. Regular, without any processing, it just sounds like this. And I'll just add like the effects one by one. It's a lot of effects, so it's like heavily processed. And that's also why I made it in a separate project, because otherwise my computer would just break down. So, if I just... okay, so this is like one kick, one instance of the kick, like just repeat it. It starts out with the trash. Let me just some regular distortion, some overdrive, just to get like the first type of distortion out, like get the first frequencies out. Then like the whole the key with making distorted kick drums is a lot of this, like not really that much distortion, but a lot of EQ. That's how you get it like to sound how you want it to sound. So it starts out with just basic distortion, then the parametric EQ, just the stock FL Studio EQ. It just boosts a lot of the frequencies that were distorted, that were generated by the first distortion. Then a limiter, which doesn't really limit, but just like as you can see, if I speed it up, you can see that the kick has a tail to it, to like the sound. And when you're distorting a kick drum, that tail could interfere with like the whole distortion process. So after that, like just the gate for like removing that tail, and then a wave shaper, again the stock Fruity wave shaper for the like the heavy distortion. And after that, some more EQing. Just that this is actually the EQ that is used in the build up, like at the playlist to like modulate the sound, to turn it up. Like you can see it growing and moving and stuff. So that's like just at this point. There's some more EQing. Again, parametric EQ, just the basic EQ that works great. What plugin did you use for the 808? Like the plugin that I've used for this one is the EKS9. It's by Synapse Audio, and a lot of hardstyle DJs, hardstyle producers use this one. I got this one from a tutorial that I watched that Frontliner gave, and he also used this one. So since then I've been using this one. Like this one is also used in Kingwood, but you can use any 909 emulator or just a sample. That's also cool. So it doesn't really, like, this doesn't make like a magic 909 sound. It's just easier to mess with the like the decay, the sustain, the pitch envelope, and that kind of stuff. So that's the plugin. And going back to the effects chain, it sounds like this. It's like way too. It doesn't sound really good. But then some more EQ. This is also, I guess, one that is used to modulate the sound in a playlist to get like that uplifter type feel to it. Then some more EQ. This is also being modulated with automation. As you can see, just turn down that a little bit because it distorts pretty much now. You can see it rising. This is what gives the bandpass type of effect to it. Then a Devaster. Devaster is like a great plugin for multiband distortion. Now you can't hear anything. It'll sound like this instead of this. Like this is with the effect applied. This is without the effect. So this is what gives like the most like of the sound of the riser kick. Then some more EQ, like just a filter just to roll off the low end, because I'm using a pure sine wave in the riser in the build up, so just to roll off the low frequencies. Then some more EQ, again parametric EQ does a great job at it. Then some more Devaster. And some more EQing just to get like the mids out. More EQing. And even more EQing. Or pretty much this is like that's what I like told you like a couple of minutes ago. When you're making these types of kicks, it's like the EQ is everything. It can either make or break the sound, because if I turn off all the equalizers and only use distortion to kind of create the sound, it would sound like this. It wouldn't sound good. You wouldn't hear anything because like it would sound like this. It didn't have like it wouldn't have any frequencies that really stand out. So again, like the whole key with creating like distorted kick drums or like hardstyle kicks is just massive EQing. So if I turn on all all the EQs. It'll sound like this. And then after that, I'll just apply some multiband compression, OTT, just the stock, like the regular preset, just works fine. Then a phaser. Phaser is just to make the sound more interesting, just for the riser. And then a wave shaper, and this wave shaper, like what it does, it just clips the sound, like hard clips the sound to like at this point. So it'll just like because the OTT, the multiband compression, really kicks, like you can see it here. If I don't clip it, it'll look like this. You can see like there's a lot of dynamics in the kick, and I don't want that because it's for the riser. It needs to be like loud. So if you apply wave shaper, it just amplifies the sound a little bit more, so that it gets like evened out. And that's pretty much the riser in this track, like the kick riser. So wow, okay, let me just close that project real quick because my processor isn't handling this really well. So as you can hear, you got the rising kick sound effects-ish. I did pretty much some post-processing in the project itself just to make room for the riser, for like the sub riser, the clean sine, and just to make it fit in the project, because I made it in a different in a separate project, so you need to mix it again. Yeah, that's like the only two things that are left for this riser. And then like it's just the bass uplifter, like the clean sine that I told you guys about. As you can see, it's just one frequency that gets like just rises in pitch. That's why I need to roll off the low end of the FX kick. After that, we go straight into the drop. Let me just unsolo everything. Oh my god. Alright, that's the drop. So that's pretty much like the whole drop. That consists out of like the kick, the bass line that I've told you about in the beginning of this live session. Just a sine wave and an amplitude modulated sine wave with the kick. On top of that, we got some percussion. Sounds like this. Which are some loops that I made from scratch. Some snares that I found from old hip-hop sound banks. And that's like the only percussion in the beginning of the drop. So the only thing left is like almost the only thing left is the like the fillers of the bass line, which sound like this. This is a silent, just a silent one. This project like is pretty much only silent one. That looks like this. And also like with all my other synths, like all the other tracks that I've done, the whole sound is actually made at the post-processing, because without it, it would sound like this. It sounds really basic, really thin. It sounds really thin, doesn't really sound like anything at all, and it wouldn't fit in the track because it doesn't sound like anything. So how this sound is actually built is, this is what really makes the sound jump out the speakers, as Expo would say. Like this is a patcher. For the people that don't know what patcher is, Studio One has something quite similar, and basically what it is. It's just routing audio signals through FX, but without the the maximum of like 10 slots. You can use infinite amount of effects within Patcher, so that's why I used Patcher for this one. So it starts out, like the signal starts out with a Maximus, which is a multiband compressor. Just turn off the sidechain. Just some basic multiband compression to like make the sound louder. Then some overdrive, the blood overdrive from FL Studio itself, like the stock plugin. Sounds amazing. I use it in all my tracks. So that's like out of the multiband compressor, it goes into the overdrive. After the overdrive, some camel fat just to like beef the sound up. Then after the camel fat, it splits. Well, actually, not. It doesn't split. It duplicates this the signal that you got from the camel fat, and it goes like a part goes into another distortion unit and gets EQ'd, and after that, it gets fed back into the main chain. So if you just listen to what gets like split up, it sounds like this. That's the like the part that's responsible for like the mid frequencies, like these frequencies around the 500 hertz. That's pretty much what that does. And if you if you would only have the regular chain, it would sound way too thin. It wouldn't have like it wouldn't sound good layered with the main lead of the drop. So pretty much that's why I added a separate chain just for the mids of the track. And it'll sound like that, and like the rest of the chain is some more overdrive just to glue the the mids of the other distorted version together with the original signal. Then some homicide just for some also a really great distortion plugin. Some more EQing, just like a filter just to roll like the low end of, because we don't need that, because that's already taken care of by the sub kick, like the sine wave and the amplitude modulated one. Then some reverb. This isn't actually the actual reverb that gives like the roomy feeling to it. It's just a really thin. You don't even hear it, but it gives some space, especially if you listen to the track on earphones or headphones. It doesn't sound that dry. After that, it's a limiter, but it's not actually a limiter. It doesn't really compress or limit anything. It's just basically saturation. Basically, just it could be replaced with a wave shaper that just cuts off the dynamics of the track. Because if you look at the I'll just turn it down a little bit. If you look at the waveform, like actually the waveform of the effect, you can see like I'll just pause that. Like the original sound is like purple. This is the input signal, and if you look at the output signal, it gets like just crushed. Like it's basically just a wave shaper that clips the sound. And if you look at the gain reduction, is at the core it's just clipping the sound just to make it more sausage. So then it gets fed back into FL Studio, and like the only thing that's left is just some more post processing. Oh wait. Okay, does it work now again? Let's just wait until... Yes. Does it work again? I hope so. Can you guys see it again? Is the screen working again? I hope so. Yes. Alright, cool. Great. Cool. I'll just... I don't know where I left off, but I think it was just explaining the chain. It's like it gets split, it goes into overdrive, homicide for distortion, a filter just for some regular EQing. Alright, Alright, let me just play the whole drop again, because if people miss that, that would be worst. Alright. Oh, wrong button. Okay, that didn't work well. Okay. Okay, so just let me just know where I started off. I saw some comments that the whole drop was missed, so I'll just explain the drop one more time. Baseline, which is this. Which is a patcher. It goes like the signal goes into a multiband compressor, just with some basic multiband compression, some overdrive, which preempt, like the color is actually the thing that really gives the timbre of the sound. Goes into a camel fat. The camel fat splits the frequency, splits the signal. Well, actually doesn't split the signal. It duplicates the signal just for the more of the mids, and that's like just to boost the 500 hertz again. So without it, it would sound like really thin. It wouldn't fit well with the saw lead. It would sound thin. So that's why I separated the signal and distorted again, so it would sound like more full, more blood overdrive. Just to glue those two together. Some more distortion on the side, a filter to roll off the low frequencies, because those were taken care of by the baseline and the kick and the baseline. So that's why I filtered that. And then we got the reverb. It's not like the reverb that you hear, like the roomy reverb, but it's just a small one, short decay, just to like make it a little less dry if you listen to it on headphones or earphones. Okay, I saw that it froze again. It's really annoying. Okay, so I fixed that. It's really annoying that. Oh my god, is it frozen again? No, I guess we're okay. It works again. So I just like do this one real quick. The reverb, just make it a little less dry. You don't really hear it, but it's like when you listen to it on a headphone, it sounds like less dry. So, and after that we got the a limiter, which isn't oh my god, is it frozen again? I don't know. So yeah, we got the limiter, which isn't really a limiter because it doesn't really compress or limit anything. It's just it boils down to a wave shaper basically. So what it does, like if you look at the signals, like if I turn off this and this is the like the purple one is the original signal that comes in. Like I don't know if you can see it well. Let me just zoom in for you guys. The purple stuff, like this is the input. Like if I turn off the pause, this is what goes into the limiter. If you look at the gain reduction, that's this one. You can see that it reduces the gain like pretty heavily, which is basically just flat out wave shaping, like clipping the signal. And after, if you can see, like the output signal is the green one, which is the output signal, and you can see it's like really squashed. It's like a sausage, as Dada Life would say. and that's what I want for this sound. And after that, it gets fed back into FL Studio, and well, that's pretty much that sound. After that, it's just a reverb. That's actually the one that gives the roomy sound to it. The regular like reverb, and that's pretty much the bassline sound, like the one bassline sound. And after that, we also got like the future house dreaded whoa sound. I don't know if you can hear it pretty well. So that's the bass line for this track, and like those two together will sound like this. Let me just unsolo that one. So that combined with the kick pretty much makes up the low end of the track, and after that we got the main lead, which consists out of 3 layers. Sounds like this. It doesn't have any reverb on it because I added that reverb at the mastering process. So the 3 layers are this silent. They are all silent, by the way. That's one layer to it. This sound actually gets like its sound from the post-processing, which also, like with all my other synths that I made, is pretty much the only thing where my sound is actually getting its sound from. Originally, it'll sound like this. Oh wait, not the right one. This one doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? Alright, like it'll sound like this, and with the multiband compressor on it and the camel fat, it'll sound like this. And that's pretty much the sound that I wanted for this track. Then it gets layered with a mid sound. Sounds like this. Oh wait. Those two together will sound like this. That's pretty much almost the whole sound of the track, but then I layered it with another synth. And that's the mid sound, because Hardwell once told me that at a festival you really need to occupy the mono sound really loud, because that's pretty much the only thing that people will hear, like at the side. Like you got people on both sides of the speakers, so your mono signal is pretty important at festivals. So that's why I layered it with this sound, just to make it the mono signal really loud. And altogether it'll sound like this. So that's pretty much the whole drop, because those are the elements of the drop. Those all together will sound like this. One moment. All right. Oh wait, we got also the Supersaw, which is just a really regular Supersaw, which is made with Petcher again, which boils down to just a regular silent. Also, again, with all my other sounds, this one gets the whole sound really gets made with the post processing, a lot of post processing. So if I turn off all the effects, it'll sound like this. So it starts off with an OTT, just to get that attack really loud. Then a limiter. The limiter doesn't really limit again. It just saturates the sound just to get some. As you can see, like just a little bit of saturation, because you can see like the input signal and the output signal again. Like this is the input. This is the output. This is the input signal. This is the output signal. If you lay them over each other, it doesn't really do much except like saturate the sound, which is what I wanted for this one. And after that, overdrive, a little bit of overdrive. Doesn't really do much, just to reduce the post gain and add some color to the sound. After that, it's again some more OTT. It's applied like moderately, because there is already one OTT on it. Sounds like that. Some heavy EQing. Wait, yeah, some heavy EQing. It's 30 dB, so if you look at it from 6 dB, it would look pretty heavy. That really makes the whole the sound of the supersaw. Then a limiter, again, doesn't really do much, just to tame the frequencies. And after that, it's a reverb, a gated reverb, also made in, where is it? In Patcher. What this one does is pretty cool. You got the regular reverb, just the regular reverb sound. It's dry, so the signal gets duplicated into 3 streams. One goes to the reverb, and like if I turn it down, that's just the regular reverb. That's this one. And then we got the limiter. The limiter is actually triggered by a sidechain, which is the original, like the dry sound itself. That sounds like this. And it's a trick that Headhunters does, like a lot of like WW do it, and it ducks the sound, like it ducks the reverb when the sound is playing, so it'll sound way more compressed. It'll sound like it'll make room for the reverb. So that's how I did that sound, like the supersaw, and that's pretty much the whole drop. So if you just listen to the drop again. So that's pretty much it for the drop. I got some reversed reverb just to add to the effect. Sounds like that, and just some more white noise impacts just to make it everything more interesting. And then we got the wow, my processor really doesn't like this track. At this point, the whole drop goes up 1 octave and adds some more percussion to it. This Tom rides, the Jordy Daz rides from Splice, and the endless flanger that like inspired by Hardwell, Xwell, like all the Swedish guys use this. Panomatic, just to like automate the panning, make it more stereo, and some stereo plugins just to help with the stereo effect, and a reverb. That's pretty much it for the drop. And then we go to the break, all the way over here. It'll look like this. It'll sound like this. the like the intro part of the break. That consists out of a violin, like a high pitched violin, just Nexus, pitched at E8. So that's that, and we got the bass line that sounds really analog, which basically is just a soft synth. This one is just a synth master that Martin Garrix and Jay Hardway use. So that's that. Just that's pretty much it for the first 4 bars. Then we got the filtered chords, sound like this, without the filter. Really basic supersaw, just the most basic supersaw that you ever heard. Sidechain with a volume shaper, just to make that like the sucking effect, makes it bounce. Then we got a parametric EQ, just also the regular one from FL, just to filter the tracks a bit more. And then we got the Pro Q that really filters it really heavily, and this gets automated in the first part of the break. And then we got the like the stab kind of sound. I don't know where my silent goes. Where my silent went. Let's try this. But there it is. It's a preset from Silent, the Disco Polis preset. Just tweaked a little bit with the cutoff. It'll like usually sound like this, but it's just it didn't really fit the break, so I just added the attack to the cutoff envelope. It'll sound like that. So those 3 together sound like this, and that really makes it the first part of the break. And the only thing that comes after that is just the plug. Which is Aspire, just a square wave that's filtered down, then distorted again just to get the timbre of the square. Just the plug sound that goes into an envelope to create that plucky sound. Pitch envelope just to get the attack out there. And wow. Alright, that's the pretty much the intro of the break. There it is. So that's the break. The only thing that's came in here, like the things that came in here, are the kick, the chords, the super sauce, like this, and the square wave. That's this one. Also, like the same kind of technique used for the sound of this one. It gets filtered, then goes into a distortion just to keep to get the sound like the way it sounds now. A bass line, which is a saw wave that's filtered down just to get the like the mid frequencies. And then we got a patcher, which looks like this. Looks pretty like intimidating at first, but it's just like these are saw waves, like super saws, and each super saw plays its own harmony because it at the second build up. The other harmonies except the root note get filtered out, so it'll sound like this. Because the cool thing with FL Studio is you can assign different colors to to each instrument. So each instrument will play its own like color that you can see right there. What it does is because like the way the glide works, it's you can only glide one note, one voice, one harmony. So I've created like 4 different colors, like 4 different MIDI channels for each slide, and layer them on top of each other so it'll sound like this. Which goes into this one, the super saw, and it's just like a glitch that gets the tape stop. And like the WW reverb, like the same preset that I've used for the main lead of the drop, sounds like this. And then furthermore, in the break, the drop part of the break, got the kick, an impact, just the regular impact that everybody knows, some crashes, which are layered with a regular clap, and those all together sound like this. And after that, it goes into like the build up again, which like this is the cool part. This is why I use the patcher with all the different voices, like the different patcher instances for each voice, because these are the harmonies of the chord of the first chord that is played. Those together sound like this. And the only one that gets that's left over like is the this one, which is the root note of the whole track, E minor in this case, and all the other harmonies will get filtered because those are all routed to this one, to the 3rd harmony. Like the 1st and 2nd are routed to the 4th harmony, and that one gets filtered. Let me just try to get this one. Oh wait. Yeah, the wow filter, which filters it out and get this this effect. Which is like it filters away the other harmonies, and like what you get left with is the root note. Because in build-ups, like the thing that you want is that when you pitch a synth sound 1 octave, like up 1 octave, like with a pitch automation, it'll need to end at the root note of the drop, so it'll sound like one whole together. So that's why I filter out the other harmonies that aren't the root note, and you get left with the root note. Because after that, the root note rises. How did I get this effect? Somebody asked how I get this effect. Like, do you mean the filter effect, or the stutter effect? The stutter effect is also generated by the wow filter. So like all the harmonies, like the whole chord. The only thing that is left is the root note. So if you filter out all the other harmonies, the only thing that you get left is the root note. Here, this way, you can hear the other harmonies get filtered out, and all you get left is the root note. And after that root note gets pitched up, as you can hear. I don't know if you can hear it pretty well, because like my processor is really struggling right now. So that goes up, and gets combined with like all the other sounds of the build up, which is like the same of the first one. That's pretty much this, and then it drops into like the final drop, which is the same as the first one, only I added one more like downlink to it. So that's pretty much how I made this track. Like, this is insane. Like I'm using 99% of my my processor, and like at one moment it just works again. So that's weird stuff. And to all the people that are really asking, like, upgrade my CPU, upgrade my CPU. My CPU is actually one of the flagship Intel CPUs. It has I have the 6-core version at like overclocked at 4 gigahertz. As you can see, like I have the 5820K. If you look at the logic processors, I've got 12 cores, 12 actual cores, and at the most, when it's like the most heavy, it still doesn't use every part of the processor. So it's pretty much the way that I work with FL Studio. Like the way that my project works is, like, you can see it at the debug settings. You can see the layers. Like this is the way how FL Studio works. You got threading. Like if you have a multi-threaded CPU, like with multiple cores, it'll create layers of different units, and each layer gets processed individually on one core. So I've got 12 cores, and I've got 11 layers. So I've got, for each layer, I've got one core is processing one layer. So it's just the way that I make my project. It doesn't really work with this CPU. So that's pretty much the whole project. And I'm not using an onboard sound card. I've got a FireWire, TC Electronics FireWire sound card hooked up with my my studio monitors. So that's pretty much it for the whole track. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask now, so I can answer them for the time being that I'm still live. If no one else has any questions, I think I can wrap this one up. So let me just wait if there are any more questions left. What is the filter in WoW that you are using? It's just the regular filter, like the low pass filter that I'm using. Let me just get the WoW filter for you. Like, it's just the regular low pass, dry wet all the way up, no distortion, and then no resonance, no vowels, just the envelope trigger within WoW self triggers the cutoff, like that makes the effect. And how do I master on the same track? No, I don't master the same track, like in the same project, because I actually went back and forth with Hardwell on this track because he had some comments about the let me just try to get the master version. Yeah, this is the master. I've went back and forth with Hardwell. He had some comments on the low part of the track, so I redid the whole low part of the track just to make it fit more. How long did it take for you to make this? Well, Avocillo has a function, and this one was done pretty quick. It was like 16 hours for just the drop. That was just the drop part because the break was made in a separate project. So I'll just get that project with me. I still have it right here, I guess. The track was called Chords. Let me just open up that project. Why do all producers use 100 channels to your track? Well, like the way that I work is every sample that I throw inside of a project, I'll directly link it to one of the channels because I use automatic plug-in delay compensation, and when you use that, if you don't route it to an FX slot, it'll sound out of sync with the rest of the project. So you need to assign it to an FX slot. So that's why I use like a lot of. That's why it looks like as if I use a lot of mixer inserts, but most of them aren't even used. I only have like 20 left. I literally have only 20 left. So like all the stuff that you see are just most of them aren't even used, but just those are just like leftovers of ideas that I had. Which sample pack do I use? Like the sample pack that I've like compiled my own. Well, not really my own sample pack. I have like selected samples of like I've been producing for like a long time, and I started out with hip hop, so I still even have like hip hop based sample packs, like the Dr. Dre packs. Like it doesn't even really work with EDM, but sometimes it does. Like some of the samples really can be used in EDM, but I have like really a lot of sample packs that I've gathered over the years, and from that I made a selection of like samples that I use a lot. I recommend you guys to do the same. Like if you find some samples that you really like, just save them in like a special folder, because like I got a couple of kicks that really work well for me that I've sampled from other tracks or got from other producers. Like all these kicks work like without any post processing, just some minor mixing. Like it's a tip that I got from Layback Luke, just to like make the whole process of making a track easier, because if you got a great kick, you already got a great bass for the whole project. What is my favorite plugin? My favorite plugin at the moment is still Silent One, but it's not really much of a question of what my favorite plugin is as a generator. My favorite plugins for distortion are like more important, because the thing is, all my sounds are created like the sound that you hear is created in the post processing. So I would say that the OTT is one of my favorites to really compress the sound, multiband compression. Maximus is also one that I use a lot for multiband compression, and for distortion I use a lot of Devaster, Trash from Isotope, and Maul, the Maul and Homicide. Those are the main, and also Camel Fat. Those are the main distortion plugins that I use, and those are the main like plugins that make my sound my sound. All right, let me just ask, look for more questions. You said your lead sound is dry because you add the reverb on the mastering. Yes, I'll just show you that right now. When I master, I always use a reference track, because that's a thing that also Hardwell taught me to use. So in this case I used Jules and Spark Crank, the Hardwell extended edit, which is also a great track. As you can see, this is like I've bounced the stems, like not really stems, but if you like take a look at this, it's just the I've bounced the drums separate, the drums, the bass line, and the kick separate from this the lead synth. So this is like the drop, and I've put the lead synth on a separate channel and just added the reverb on that channel, just to get the mix right, like the balance right of those two levels. That's how I applied the reverb in the master, the actual master. Show your master channel. My master channel is pretty basic, pretty straightforward, which consists out of a limiter Pro L, like the Fat Filter Pro L, just to boost the sound, because the sound comes in at minus 8 dB. I bounce everything at minus 8 dB. A Pro Q, wait, where is it? We have a Pro Q, pretty heavy. Well, it's not that heavy, it's only 6 dB, but this is actually the thing that Hardwell said to me when we was going back and forth with this project. He told me that it was lacking some definition in the low end, so I redid the whole project. Like in the original project, I redid the sound of the kick and just boosted a lot of frequencies in the low part. So that's that. And after the EQ, it gets limited one more time, just to like a really low, like plus 1.3 dB, just to like to clip the edges off, made by the Pro Q. So that's my master chain. How do you keep your track sounds clean and louder without distortion? Well, when it comes to loudness, I basically have only one technique to really create the loudness that you want of an EDM track, by just routing everything to one bus that needs to get like glued together, compress that with a multiband compressor, and after that, like when it's compressed, I just use a wave shaper to clip the edges off, and then just it goes straight into my master and gets mixed with the kick and the bass line and stuff. So that's pretty much how I keep the sounds clean. Like, also keeping sounds clean is also pretty much starting with the clean sound itself, because you can apply multiple like you can EQ everything perfectly, or like really like filter out like gritty stuff and everything, but it doesn't really sound clean until you use a clean input sound. So my tip would also be like use a clean input sound. How wide are my leads? My leads are in this track are pretty much mono. Well, not really mono, but for the most part they are actually mono. So if I just open up the master project, I've got the this one here. This is the lead. If I turn down the turn off the reverb, and I add a, let's just, where is it? It's wave candy. That's it. The wave candy. You can see the vector scope. Let me just turn off the I don't know why FL Studio insisted on making it like glassy and stuff. Solid. How do you? Okay, background. Can I just? No. Anyways, oh yeah, this one. This is the one that I need. Okay. Just make it more accessible for this. Okay. As you can see, if I turn off the, I've turned off the reverb. Most of the lead is in the center, like dead center of the mix, because that's just the sound that I've used. That's pretty much in the center of the track. Like the whiteness, like if I turn on the reverb, like it already has its own reverb with like the gated reverb, but if I turn on the actual reverb, it'll sound like this. It'll look like that. It isn't really wide, but it works for this track. So that's that. What was the reference track? The reference track that I've used for this one is well, I thought it would, like, it shared a lot of similarities within, like, with the sound. It's the drop was pretty like straightforward, so I used this one, like the crank, the Hardwell extended. And and that's like I've just matched up the frequencies that I saw from both tracks, and just tried to get the same frequency response within my track and with like the reference track. How do you come up with the tracks? I mean, where do you get the inspiration for drop, kick, line, and things like that? It's easy to get inspiration to draw, but for music, I don't think so. You're actually pretty right. Like the stuff that the music that you guys hear is only like minimal subset of the music that I actually make, because if you look at my projects, I've got thousands of projects that aren't released, that didn't get signed, or didn't get to a label, or like all these projects didn't really make the cut, and after all these months only one project got signed. And pretty much how I work with inspiration is just keep making music, and when I hear something that sounds cool, I'll finish it, and that's pretty much where I got the inspiration from. And I actually had the one of the first versions of this track, so you can, like, if maybe it helps if you can hear how this project started out, like what was the inspiration of this sound. The whole track, the first version of this track was just this. Which is pretty much only a kick, a sub kick, and like this sound. That's how this project started. So it can be anything. It can be like this. The whole project turned out pretty different from the original idea. So my advice is just to keep making like simple ideas, and maybe like sometimes you hear something and it'll sound like something that you really want to finish. So that's how this track came about. How do you make sure the elements in the track are loud enough or the track doesn't feel empty? It's pretty much like experience, I guess. I've had a lot of tracks that like I still have tracks that I've from back when I was like 13 years old, and those all sound empty. And the way that I've like got around that is just try to like how I use the reference track at the master. If you compare those two tracks, you'll see like you'll hear, or you'll see if you use an EQ where like what frequencies you're missing, so you can fill up those frequencies with some more sounds. And like with trial and error, you just get experience for when you know like when to add some more sounds or remove some sounds. So I understand you make separate pieces with ideas, then evolve them in one project. Yes, kind of. Like I have different ideas for drops and for the breakdowns, and when I think like one could really work with another one, I just merge them, because I wrote a program to merge separate Fruity Loops projects together. So what it does, it'll take like this project, and it'll like these two were separate projects, and I just combined them with the program, and they like the program added all the sounds of both projects into one project, and then I'll get to arranging, and that's pretty much my process with these tracks. Which sample packs do you usually use? Yeah, like I told you, somebody else already asked that question. I have like a lot of sample packs, like different sample packs, but the ones that I use a lot of now are the Cashmere Splice Sounds. Like Splice Sounds has really good packs, like the Artist series are really good for EDM production. So I would say get a Splice subscription. Well, that program is like the for the merge to merge two FOPs is actually a program that I made myself, but it doesn't exist it's not really meant for anybody else because it doesn't really work on other computers. Let me just look. The basic thing, what it does, it just takes two projects and like takes all the sounds of both projects and just combines those into one new project. So it'll, let me just see if I can open it up. One moment. Yes. So it just looks like this. It'll parse an FOP file. And what it does, like it creates, it looks for all the synths, all the samples that I use in a project, and parses them into a separate file, and that that file will get combined with another file, and then it will get converted back. But it's like, it's not really something that is usable right now, but I'll try to make an actual project out of it. Yes, I will try to like work with ImageLine to make this like a real tool. I hope ImageLine will pick this one up, because it could be like a real useful thing for producers. How do you know so much? Well, I've been making music for almost my entire life. So like I've been making more music, bigger part of my music. A bigger part of my life was about making music than the other part. I think it boils down to experience. So I guess that's like those were questions that were asked. I want to thank you guys for tuning in, for supporting me, supporting my music. Thanks for supporting Blackbird. I got great responses on this one. If you haven't bought it already, go to Beatport and buy it. Support me. It will really mean a lot to me. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope to see you again at my next track, maybe. So.